Hello, everyone.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Hi.
How are you
Hi.
doing today?
We're fine.
Fine,
We're doing
teacher.
good.
I'm fine, teacher.
Thank you.
Okay, great to hear that. All right, so before we begin today's lesson, let's quickly recap the short story we have been studying, which is Living by M.G. VASSANJI. So I would like to call upon someone. Ainil Natasha, are you here?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
All right, so Ainil, can you tell me briefly what the story is about?
Yeah, sure. So, if I remember correctly, it's about a boy, Alu, who wants to leave his home to continue his studies, but his parents are not sure about letting him go.
Very good, Ainil. That's right. So the story focuses on Alu's desire for independence and the emotional struggle between him and his parents, who hold more traditional views. Alright, so today we're gonna focus on an important element of the short story, which is the setting. So I've shared the slides with you. Can you see it?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
wonderful. Okay, now the setting is where and when the story takes place. It includes the location, the time period, the social environment, and the atmosphere. It is important because it can influence the characters' actions and affect the mood of the story. Okay, so for example, the place where the story is set is Dar es Salaam, which is a city in Tanzania, East Africa. The time period of the story is likely in the 1970s or 1980s, based on the social norms and traditions shown in the story. And the atmosphere of the story is mostly serious and emotional because it happens mainly in Alu's family home, where there is a lot of tension. So all of these elements of the setting help us to understand the background of the story and the emotions of the characters. Do you understand so far?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah.
Yes, teacher. Yes.
Teacher.
Yes.
So basically, the setting is where and when the story takes place. Am I right?
Yes, Nisa, you are right. Okay, how about the rest? Is everything clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Everything clear.
Everything clear.
All right. Well done, everyone. You've been giving great responses so far, and I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna move on to the second part of our lesson. I'm going to hand things over to Teacher Darlene. She will guide you through the next activity. So let's give her our full attention.
Hello everyone, how are you feeling so far?
So far, so good,
So far, so
teacher.
good, teacher.
Wonderful. So today we're moving on the second part of our lesson in which I will divide you into two groups and place you in a breakout room. So each group has been assigned a picture on Padlet. I'll share the QR code later. Your task is to identify the types of setting and evidence in the short story based on the picture given to each group. All right. So while you're analyzing, try to think of what the picture tells us about the time and or place of the story. Clear so far?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
teacher.
Yes, teacher.
All right, very good. So here is an example of the task. The picture shows a dimly lit and shadowy corridor. It also includes the type setting, which is the atmosphere, and the evidence from the short story. So these are the pictures that you'll have to discuss. Group 1 will get a picture of a map, while Group 2 is going to get a picture of a newspaper. You have to do something similar to the example just now, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Teacher.
Good. Once you're in your breakout rooms, you'll have 8 minutes to discuss in your group. After that, write your answers and upload them to Padlet. Then get ready to present. Any questions?
No
No
questions,
question.
teacher.
No question, teacher.
All right, very good. Let's begin. I'll come around if you need help. Have fun discussing it.
Alright, class. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Teacher.
So, end of discussion time. Now it is time for our presentations. Each group will have about 3 to 4 minutes to share their ideas about the picture that all of you have discussed earlier. So, I would like to remind all of you that you have to explain how your picture relates to the setting of the short story. You can also mention which part of the story it connects to and why it is important. Do you understand me clearly?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, great. Now, let's start with group 1. You had a picture of the map of Tanzania, right?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Our picture is a map with Tanzania highlighted. This shows the place where the story is set. The main character, Alu, lives in Tanzania with his family. The country's location helps us understand the cultural and social environment around him.
Also, it explains why Alu's desire to study abroad is such a big deal, because the opportunities in Tanzania were limited and his family pressure to follow traditional rules.
Okay, thank you, group 1. What good points to present? Now, let me ask, which part of the story do you think that shows this place setting most clearly?
I think maybe in page 32, line 1, we moved to a part of town called Upanga, which was a very quiet place. It is where Alu received the letter and talks about going to India or America. It shows the contrast between home and the outside world.
Exactly. That moment is key to understand the setting's impact on character stream. Alright, so now let's hear from group 2. You had the newspaper headline from the 1970s, right? And who will be presenting for your group?
I think I can present that, teacher. So, uh, our group discussed how 1970s newspapers shows the time setting. Well, during that period, there were political changes and limitations in countries like Tanzania. So we think that this affects Alu's family decisions and shows why studying abroad was hard. And besides that, this newspaper style headline isn't from the story itself, but it kind of reflects how the kind of real world news that we might have seen in the 1970s. Yeah.
Exactly. It also helps us understand the family's fear and why they worry about losing their traditions or facing challenges in a foreign country.
Good job, group 2. You connected the historical context to the character situations. Alright, quick questions. Do you think the time setting makes the story more realistic or emotional? Explain to me why you say so.
I
Well,
think both.
sorry. Yeah, I think both as well. Because it makes us feel what Alu is going through at that time.
Okay, great insight. Well done, both groups. You have shown time and place as elements of setting affect the story deeply. Keep those ideas in mind. We will now move on to the feedback session.
Everyone. Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Great job on your presentation. Now let's reflect a bit. Which part of today's discussion helped you understand the setting better? Was it the image, the story itself, or your group discussion? Group 1, I want to call Shazliana. How about you?
For me, it was the map of Tanzania. When I saw it, I realized the place really affects how the characters behave. For example, Ma's decision to send Alu away was connected to their environment and how limited the opportunities were.
That's a really thoughtful observation. Yes, the place shapes the characters' hopes and limitations. Now, let me ask, do you think the story would feel the same if it were set in a different country or time period? Akila, what do you think? Is Akila here? Okay, Shakila.
Uh,
Sorry,
sorry,
teacher.
teacher. Could
Could you repeat your question again?
Do you think the story would feel the same if it were set in a different country or time period?
Oh, I no, I don't think so. If it were set in a modern city like Toronto or even today's Tanzania, Alu might have had internet access or more chances. The time of the 1970s really limited his options. That fake newspaper headline helped us imagine that.
Excellent point. The 1970s setting plays a big role in building the story's emotional tension. So, here's a question for everyone. Do you think the author intentionally used that setting to make us feel something specific? Why or why not?
Yeah, I think so. He wanted us to feel how hard it was to chase dreams back then, especially for someone like
Uh,
Alo. Setting
can I answer?
sadness and hopelessness.
I knew you want to answer the question.
No, I agree with Ashikin. I'm sorry. My setting is kind of like wacky. So sorry about that.
Okay, beautiful said. That emotional connection, it's often done deliberately through setting, not just in stories, but in films, poems, and even ads. Think about how a gloomy city or an old photograph can immediately set a mood. Before we end, let me ask one last thing. What was the most challenging part of analyzing the setting today? Anyone from group one?
I think it was connecting the setting to the character's feelings. We could describe the place, but linking it to why Alu's mother made her decisions was harder.
For group two? Does anyone want to answer?
So for us, it was imagining life in the 1970s, and it's so different from today. So we had to really think about how limited things were back then.
Those are both great reflections. It's not always easy to step into another time and place, but you are all learning to do that with more depth. That's exactly what strong readers do. Well done, everyone. I'm proud of the thought of you brought to today's discussion. See you next class.
Okay, now for the last part is conclusion. So, okay, class, before we wrap up, let's reflect on what we have learned today. First question, what do you learn from today's lesson?
I learned that the setting is more than just time and place. It affects the characters' emotions, actions, and even their dreams.
Exactly. The setting shapes the world of the story and gives meaning to the characters' experiences. Now, can anyone tell me why the setting is important in a story?
I think it is important because it helps us understand why the character behave in a certain way. Like in Living, the setting shows the pressure Alu feels from the society and his family.
Well said, Ashike. So the setting helps readers feel the tension, understand the culture, and connect emotionally with the story. Last question. Did you enjoy the activity we did in groups today?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher, we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. You all did a wonderful job today. Remember, analyzing the setting can deepen your understanding of any story. Keep practicing and you will become even better readers. That's all for today. Bye bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
Bye,
you.
teacher.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you, teacher.